No, no. But thank you for asking. My name is Kayla DeHaan Hill, so I have a question for you before we begin. Who here wants to be fat, sick, and depressed? Good. That's a whole different conversation if anyone raised their hand. But in all seriousness, is it common or uncommon at some point in someone's life to end up fat and or sick and or depressed? It's common, right? I have personally been there. And I know for a lot of people that come to these seminars, it's the reason I do come here too, because they don't want that. So tonight we're going to talk about hormones, belly fat, and fatigue. So my promise to you is give you as much information as possible. I'll probably be talking for a little less than an hour. And my hope is that you feel inspired and motivated to take action on your health with the very next step with a complete wellness evaluation, which we'll go over in a minute. But tonight we're going to make this all about you, so participate with me. Anyone here for belly fat?
Yes.
Hormone issues, fatigue, you're going to go in the back there. Any autoimmune conditions, high blood pressure, high cholesterol.
Hyperthyroidism?
Okay, that could be an issue, an endocrine issue, absolutely. So, ever been told like your labs are normal but not feeling that great? Anyone? Yeah, it's frustrating, right? What about gastrointestinal issues? Anything like that? I'd like to ask a couple questions like that at the beginning, because really to show we might not all struggle with the same exact things, but we all struggle with something. Even if you're here to optimize your health, we all do struggle with something or another. So tonight we're really going to focus about you, and also just respect everyone here. There's only 4 of us, but just be respectful. We never know what other people are going to go through, so we just want to make sure we're respectful of everybody. So before we begin, do a lot of us know that for us to really fulfill our purpose, our health needs to be optimized? We know that.
Yes.
Does anyone here feel like they're optimized, they are fulfilling their life purpose, they're in a good place right now? Ish? Yeah. Ish, okay. And a lot of times, like, we know this, we want to be there, but we're not really sure how to get there. And I'll tell you honestly, I was not always in my purpose. I know God put me here now, and I went through a lot to get here, but years ago, when I was about, especially 28, 30, and I'm 45 now, I'm going to share my story. I was in a really, really dark place. I dealt with depression and anxiety my entire life, and it just went all-time low. My blood pressure got so high, I was literally trying to see patients. I lost the left side of my vision. I was keeping walking into walls. And then my fatigue was so debilitating, I couldn't even chart, I couldn't do anything, and I would fall asleep just sometimes sitting up in my chair trying to chart. It became a problem. So, and I started losing chunks and chunks of hair. It was like, what is going on? Going doctor to doctor, I'm like, please, can you help me? Thinking I'm gonna get answers. And they all said the same thing. Your labs are normal, exercise more, eat less, all those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even when I gained 40 pounds in 1 month. Think about that.
And they said it was normal.
Normal. Oh, you're not morbidly obese. I don't know. You're fine. Yeah, your labs are fine. 40 pounds in 1 month. If you think about that, nothing was fitting. I was terrified. Then I started over exercising, all things out of desperation. And then just went to another doctor. And not everyone's experience is like this, but this is just mine. But I didn't even tell them what I did for a living because I just wanted to, someone just help me. Didn't work. And then unfortunately the bad things started happening, which that was already terrible. I would actually sit on a chair and I'd break my neck. I would sit on a couch, I'd break my scapula. I would walk down the street, I'd break ribs. And it was just one after another after another. I lost count at 17. It kept happening after that. I went doctor to doctor, and just know my situation's rare. And they said, I have never seen this before, go see someone else. Has anyone broken a bone before?
No.
It's deep, debilitating, penetrating pain you cannot massage away. So literally, I was struggling, I was suffering, and it just the pain was so debilitating. I remember very vividly, I was in my kitchen, and I will never forget this. I dropped to my knees and I prayed to God, just take my life. I cannot live this way. I just can't. I can't this way. I said, and I never asked God for help. I'm like, please help save my life or take it. I can't live like this. And I was so blessed because I did get answers, but it wasn't the diagnosis that saved my life. It's how I took care of my health. I was diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. It's a connective tissue disease. That's why I kept breaking bones. I'd also rupture muscles out of nowhere too, needing surgery for that too. I was diagnosed with POTS syndrome. I will have to sit down at some point because I faint standing too long, just being honest. No big deal. I know I need to sit, no big deal. I was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome, is also why I was gaining massive weight, because I was told eat small, frequent meals, the worst advice you could give anyone, I was taught that at school too, in grad school, and they still teach that, which we'll go over that next. And also my thyroid function, you said hyperthyroidism, my thyroid function shut off. That's why I was gaining massive amounts of weight, so it was great to know, right? But it's honestly, functional medicine saved my life. Getting my hormones optimized. Once I did that, I actually got advanced training in hormones. That's one of my main specialties. Saved my life, exercising the right way, detoxing the right way, and also getting results versus overdoing anything like I was doing. It literally saved my life, and also having the mentorship with that. That's why I am so passionate about this. The next slide is complete vulnerability here. I'm sharing the 3 worst times of my life. And granted, this is by before, so this is a picture when I was starting to gain weight. I stopped allowing anyone to take my picture after that. I have a lot more weight pictures, but I don't allow anyone to show those, and I couldn't find them. This was before surgery when I had another muscle rupture and the worst pain of my life. And when people say that your health does not affect people around you, it's not true. And that picture kills me looking at it, and I almost didn't want to post it here, because that's just, my son just wanted that connection with me, and I was in so much physical pain at that time, and I couldn't even move. So this is why I'm passionate, because I don't want to ever go there. And I will share this 2 days ago, I was actually at Sky Ranch with my boys, able to go zip lining and all these different things with them, and I just felt so blessed. So this is why I do what I do, because we don't have to be stuck here. On a happy note, this is Amy. She came here, sat in this chair right here, just cried and cried, and I'm like, I was really interested to see what's going on with her. She has went to menopause very, very early. I think she was like 43, which is actually pretty young. And she actually was just like, I'm tired. She slept most of the day, and that bothered her, the weight gain bothered her. But what really bothered her is that her teenage kids were like, Mommy, what's wrong? What's going on with you? Mom, I want to play with you. And she's like, I can't. So she came here, yes, she wanted to feel better, look better, but she wanted her kids to stop worrying about her because she wasn't taking care of herself, they weren't either. So now she followed the process. We've set up a program for her. She lost over 40 pounds. I said 40. She's like, oh, no, it's over 40. More energy, excited to get up in the morning, better mindset, eating better, setting the example for her kids. Because she's done that, her kids are now exercising, eating healthier. She's literally teaching generational health. You know, we keep hearing about generational wealth, which, yeah, that's important, but imagine like the rest of her kids' lives and their kids are affected by this. So she wishes she would have found the program sooner. So Amy really made a decision to do something different. So as we go through this, I want you to start asking yourself, are you willing to do something different? She did. So tonight we're going to cover first America's healthcare crisis. Who here knows the crisis?
I know of it.
Oh yeah, why do you think that is?
Obesity, the food, social media,
Yes.
the health and pharmaceutical industry, like it's all circular.
You're right. No, you're correct. Yes. What does your insurance card pay for? I know. I usually get that same.
Please tell us.
Yes. Well, it's supposed to pay for pills and procedures, the things we hope we don't need, but those reimbursements are going down. But a lot of times we think like, okay, we have our insurance card, it's going to save us. But it's very, very unfortunate. Yes, I'm not against insurance companies. We need to have them for emergencies. We need to have that. I've had several emergency surgeries I need to have, so I'm very blessed to have that. We've got a good, for emergencies, fantastic. But people are like, I've had people say to me, and I'm not kidding, diabetes, someone who's diabetic, well, I'm fine because I'm gonna get amputation of my leg because my insurance pays for it.
Oh, no.
When I heard that, I'm like, this is just out of control. So yeah, it pays for things. Does it pay for us to be healthy?
Yeah.
Does it really pay for you to be healthy?
No. Not at all.
No, it's so unfortunate.
They get paid when you're not healthy.
They get paid when you're not healthy, yes. Because does our car insurance pay for our oil change or maintaining our car? What does it pay for?
Well, that's why they say the doctors are in practice. They're practicing on us.
That's very true. That's very, very true. That's a very good point. But our car insurance, for example, it pays for the wreck. It doesn't pay for us to maintain it.
Right.
So we need to start thinking like, okay, we've got to be accountable for our own health because our insurance company's not going to do it. They make money when we're sick, just like you said. We're going to talk about stress, hormones, and health, the underlying cause. So often, I'm gonna give it the very common example. Who's gotten blood pressure medicine? I'm so sorry, cholesterol medication? Anyone? Well, in general, people come in here all the time on cholesterol medication. Hi. So what happens, you're on a statin. Let's say you're not eating as healthy, so okay, you need a statin because your cholesterol is going up. Okay, now you're on a statin, well now you're becoming diabetic, so that happens with that. And then you're on metformin or insulin, and then all these things keep happening. And it's just this, was the underlying issue addressed? They just are treating the symptom, but not actually looking what's causing it. So we're gonna talk about the underlying cause and how to take action to protect your health naturally. So this training is for you if you're feeling overwhelmed and exhausted. Yes. You're not feeling as good as you know you should. She's like, just keep your arm up. You know you do things differently, but you're really not sure how. I was at that place, like I'm trying to get help, I'm trying to get answers in the medical community, but I wasn't getting answers.
Yeah.
You realize health does not come in a bottle. And you're willing to take ownership of your health, right? Anyone there?
Yes.
So yes, that has to come first because we're still in the mentality that, our insurance card, doctors are gonna save us. It's not the place to be. So, anyone kind of know what this feels like? To be told your labs are normal, you're trying all the things, you're trying to exercise, you're trying to do everything your doctor's saying, and you're just not feeling well. I know what this feels like on both sides, we just talked about that. But just so you understand, I do understand this. I've been a nurse practitioner over 20 years. Also, like I said, I'm an advanced hormone provider. I was working in traditional medicine for years, and I was yelled at every single day by the doctor I was working with. I'm talking about yelled at every day. You're not going fast enough. You're not spending too much time with patients. Yes, all these things. And I was just trying to do the right thing by them, but all I got yelled at. And these patients were needing help, and you cannot help a Medicare patient in a matter of 6 minutes like you want me to do. So it became this battle. This doesn't work, and this is not just my experience. All my friends, I have a lot of friends in the medical field, they feel this way all day, every day. And I know that there's a lot of pressure on the doctors too. Hi. This does not work. And like I said, we need health insurance for emergencies, yes, but this cycle does not work. What we don't want to do is get to this point in our life where we're filled with regret and we wish to God we did something different. I'm sure none of us think we're going to be here, right? Like we don't. But everyone knows someone in this position who's been in the hospital. And the truth is, if we don't do something different for the most part, a lot of us will be here. We don't like to think about it, but it's true. This picture always reminds me of a man named Armand, the sweetest man you'd ever meet. He was from South Dakota, grew all his crops in the backyard. It literally took his green beans, I still remember this, all to his neighbors and all his crops, gourds, he grew those too. And he just loved helping people, wife, kids, grandkids. And then, unfortunately, one day it was found out he had prostate cancer. He got really sick. They moved him from South Dakota with his wife to here, actually Plano, in a home where they fed him sugar pretty much every meal, and his health declined rapidly. His wife became dementia, just barely could communicate. And then he found out he had colon cancer, myasthenia gravis, all these health conditions. I tried my best to say, to keep him healthy, but he's like, his exact words, why would they give me something that would hurt me? I'm like, I'm sorry, I know you feel this way, but this is not healthy. But he's so trusting of people that were taking care of him. And then it just got worse, and his oncologist said, I'm gonna give you a medication, a shot to shut all your hormones off. That's gonna prevent you from getting prostate cancer and killing you. I have never begged or cried more in my life. I said, Armand, if that happens, you do that, it's going to kill you. And I knew it. In my heart, I know what happens with that. This is what I do for a living. And he's like, well, why would my oncologist do that? I trust him. And it broke my heart because it was my grandfather. He took the medication, he died right after that. And it broke my heart because all he wanted to do in the hospital, he at least got to hold my first son, which was so important to me. I was born on his birthday on Father's Day, so we always had that really special connection. I shared this picture of him in the hospital because they just kept giving him sugar, and the nurse said, and I will never forget this, just give him all the sugar he wants, he's gonna die anyways. He did not have to die like that. All he wanted to do was go home and spend the time with his wife and with us. And he died in the ambulance on the way home. He didn't even get to die the way he wanted to. And he was so trusting. My point is, even though I know he's an older man, obviously, we don't have to die this way, live this way. We can actually die with dignity the way we want to. It was infuriating, but I know in my heart that he's in heaven, like wanting me to share his story. He actually shared that with me a few different ways, so it's a blessing to be able to do that, but it's still painful. But it breaks my heart. I miss him every day. The picture of this woman, like chronic this entire time. The picture of this woman with prescription bottles, common or uncommon?
Very common.
Yeah, maybe add a couple more. Is anyone here, let's just be honest and open, is anyone here on more than 2 prescriptions?
No, but my mom was. She
Yeah.
had a nightstand full of prescriptions.
Yeah.
And my brother just passed away a couple months ago.
I'm so
There
sorry.
was so many. So when I looked at that, because they found him dead in his apartment.
Oh, God.
So
I'm truly sorry for your loss.
thank you.
Really sorry. It's so common, and lately we're finding younger and younger people getting more and more prescriptions, right?
Yes.
And it's becoming such a pill culture. And I use this analogy, it's like imagine your check engine light went on in your car, you take it to the service station, and all they do is bring it back. 5 minutes later, they switch the switch off. They bring you the car, and you're excited so fast. Best customer service ever. You get to go about your day, you're excited, and then down the street, your check engine light goes back on, or the car breaks down, whatever the issue is. Was the issue addressed? No. But us being so excited, fast culture, instant results, instant gratification, the gratification like right now. That's the pill culture is becoming a problem because you're in and out, in, out, in, out. Yeah, the underlying issue is not addressed. Anyone here with high blood pressure on medication?
My doctor wanted to prescribe me high blood pressure medicine, but I don't want to take it.
Okay.
Because I'm like, there's side effects and I'm concerned.
Right. But like for the example, like when I was, my story, when I lost the left side of my vision, of course, I put up blood pressure medication. I actually would forget it a couple days, my blood pressure would go right back up, I'd take it, go right back down, but was my issue addressed?
No.
It just was covering up the symptom,
And they
Well,
had to take more medicine to counteract
Yes,
that medicine.
That's what-
yes, because they made me dizzy, then they gave me, medication for vertigo. I mean, I can keep going, I'm like, this is not right, it's just not. Yeah, it doesn't have to be this way. Yes. So America's health crisis, unacceptable costs and unacceptable outcomes, 3.5 trillion spent annually on healthcare. Although people are getting sicker and they're throwing medicine, money at the medicines, right? 90% on chronic health conditions, 90. And it's just, we're not getting healthier. Double the amount in other developed nations, 70% of all deaths caused by top 5 chronic diseases, not getting better, getting worse. United States ranked 37 out of 40 in health outcomes. Isn't that crazy? Is there a pill for this? Constipation, diarrhea, IBS, but is the underlying issue being addressed? No, they're just throwing pills, they're just treating the symptom. Tired and sluggish. Is anyone here feel like you're pushing and pushing and pushing the entire day, but you're just tired, you're exhausted, you can't sleep sometimes? Yeah, this poor lady is taking a nap at the gym. Sometimes, I know, she's at least there, right? But how often do we feel like, we're just putting up with the suffering and the pushing and the struggling? We don't even know how much, we're putting through right now in our bodies. So yeah, but we're drinking coffee and Red Bull, we're just trying to make it through, but we're not doing anything good for our bodies. Depression. There are hundreds of causes of depression, and I'm not against antidepressants, but I feel providers are so like, here's your antidepressant versus let's just see what's going on. Yeah, sometimes it's absolutely warranted, but I feel like it's such a pill culture instead of like really diving in to see what's going on. Anxiety. Some people have crippling panic attacks, but we all want to be on anxiety medication and addicted to it. Let's figure out the root cause versus having to put band-aids on it. Let's figure out what's going on. Insomnia, anyone? It is exhausting, and the time that you're the most quiet is the time where your brain can do this, right? But do we all want to be addicted to Ambien? I've been there. I don't want anyone to experience that, because with those kind of medications, the longer you're on it, the more addicted you get to it, and you don't sleep without it, then you stop sleeping. No, let's get to the root cause. Do we have hormones out of balance? What's going on? Let's figure this out. Mood swings and emotional. Here's your antidepressant, here's your anxiety medication, here's this, here's that. Like, let's get things checked out versus like throwing pills at it. As a society, are we gaining weight or losing weight? And how many prescription medications right now are out there for weight loss? I mean, the semaglutide is everywhere, right? But what people don't realize, yes, it works magically, it's beautiful. I mean, it works really well. But I'm not going to bore you with statistics, but they're finding now that people that are on it, especially higher dose, the weight does come back on and then some because your own production is not being made. So I can bore you with that. But if the underlying issue is not being addressed and you get off, what happens? Getting right back, yes. And who's here been told, like, eat small, frequent meals throughout the day, it'll make your blood sugar stable? Who's been told that? You've heard that? You've heard that? Do you know where that came from? Well, that's true too, yes. Do you know you're the first group who's ever answered that correctly?
I think there's more information coming out, so. people-
I love that.
Yeah.
The food industry, but we were taught that in school.
Mhm.
And I was like, for years, trying to teach, teach my patients to do that. They kept gaining. I'm like, there's something going on here. It's the worst advice. The reason being is because you eat small, frequent meals, it keeps your insulin level high, and that's a storing hormone. We're gonna go over that more, but yeah, it's crazy. We gotta get to the root cause of why that's happening. Just like with my story, we gotta figure out that root cause. I love Amy, and I think it's such a blessing to be able to share her story. She is, there's something happening in a couple days, which I'm excited about. She had always struggled with weight gain, and when I say she was skeptical, that's not even the right word. Take that times 1,000. She's like, I don't think I can do this. She had recently lost her mom to type 2 diabetes. She was terrified going down that road. Also, her son, her teenage son, was kind of following her footsteps, not exercising, not taking care of himself. He gained about 50 pounds. So she's like, okay, I need to do something different. But she also was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome, genetic hereditary disease of insulin resistance, low thyroid, all the things. But she trusted the process, scared, completely fine. She's lost over 50 pounds. Depression and anxiety is so much better. She makes better choices every day. The office cheers her on. It helps her focus on her why. She wants to live, and she wants to encourage others to seek life. It's worth it. She had always had, am I crying again? She had always had a dream of being a nurse. I've known her for years. She's like, I don't feel like I'm good enough. I am not eating correctly. I'm not leading by example. My kids are gaining all this weight too. Because she did this process, she is graduating from nursing school actually in 2 days. And her son is now doing rock climbing, and he's actually becoming more professional doing that. And also now her stepdaughter went back to school, and she's doing the same thing. So it's just amazing to see families transform that way. My mission is to help as many people as possible, and these stories get me every time. And I'm gonna go to her graduation. I'm so proud of her. It's just amazing. So with the sick care model, we're not gonna call it a healthcare model. We're gonna call it a sick care model. What, wrong or lacking information?
Lacking information.
Yeah. So maybe wrong too?
Yeah.
Maybe we should say both, right? Why is that?
Just all the right resources.
People aren't being cured.
That's so true. Absolutely.
And I think marketing, like consumerism, like there's things that are put on packaging and in diets and on drugs that are attractive and easy and quick and
1000%.
yeah, processed foods.
Processed food, yes. A lot of it comes to marketing and all those things that are in our environment, yes. Yeah, so finish the sentence, milk does the body, but does it?
What does it?
No. Or snap, crackle. Did we come up with this?
No.
We're marketed to every single day, and absolutely. COVID-19, I will not torture anyone with this conversation, but the one thing that came out of this, how an unfortunate crisis creates surprising opportunities for health. This is about thriving, not merely surviving. The only thing that came out of this is that we know how important it is for our immune system to take care of our health, because we saw what happened to so many people that didn't, and it's just heartbreaking. So at least we understand that, and we can do something different. It's more than just gathering information, it's actually taking action on the information. Because a lot of times, there's so much information out there. Is it always good information?
Not necessarily.
No, it's not. Some of it's completely conflicting information. So that's why it's so important to take action on something you know you need to do now. So we don't have control over everything in our lives, obviously. We cannot stop aging. We're all as young as we're gonna be in this exact moment, but we can be proactive. We can consider food medicine to heal the body from the inside out. We can address blood sugar imbalances, improve heart health, boost our immune system, minimize inflammation, calm any autoimmune process down, and balance hormones. Those things we can do. And the reason we get the results we do and why we get such amazing progress in these patients is that we incorporate the 5 pillars of health and we do it together in a system. We implement nutrition, hormones, fitness, detox, in my mind, most importantly, the mentoring portion. But before we go through this, which we'll go through one by one, I have a question for you. And a lot of you guys have already answered a lot of this, so we're not gonna spend too much time on that. But how did we get here? Why are we getting so sick? You guys have done a really good job answering those questions. Anything else? I know you mentioned food, the environment, water, all those different things. Anything else, like why we're getting sicker and sicker?
Utensils, pans,
Yep.
the
Chemicals.
shampoo,
The
the environment.
You what'd you say?
We're not moving it.
Your lack of movement, lack of exercise. Yes.
Quality.
Yes. Absolutely. And different stressors to our bodies, absolutely. Physical stress, chemical stress, emotional stress. And there's some good physical stress, like exercising our bodies, we want to do that. But there's trauma, there's car accidents. There's also like, some people will lose the belly fat, the visceral fat, and they'll gain it right back, which is very inflammatory to the body. But yeah, the chemicals. And so we can't control like the amount of alcohol we consume, coffee, all those things. And there's a place for that, obviously, which is fine. But we drink from plastics so much, which we don't even realize. And you know, we're trying to get things with BPA free, right?
Yes.
And a lot of times it's made with something called BPS, which is more toxic. Oh yeah, I can keep going. But does anyone here know what glyphosate is?
I've seen that.
You've heard of that before? Does anyone know what it is or what it's put on?
It's a pesticide.
Yeah, it's Roundup. I promise you, if I check every single one of you, you have high levels of Roundup in your body. And what that's doing is spray on our crops. So we think we don't have it. I've actually tested myself a few years ago thinking I'm good. It looked like my paper was bleeding to death because it was red, severe, severe, severe. And also I was bathing my little tiny kids and with in their bathtub with plastic toys. I wasn't even thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my level of BPA was very high, just like my poor kids. Yeah, things you don't even think about, right? But yeah, so what happens with the glyphosate is pokes holes into our brain, pokes holes into our gut. And you know those artificial sweeteners you see at all restaurants or Starbucks? Do you know why they're baby pink, baby yellow, baby blue?
No.
Think about it. Baby colors.
Oh, for kids.
It's marketing. Yeah, it's marketing. I know. Things you don't even think about. And they're actually finding that those artificial sweeteners raise your insulin levels more than sugar, and they're more toxic. And it's also poking holes in our gut too. Some are worse than others. There's ones that are not as bad, but yeah. And those chicken breasts, chickens are not, they're very small. Chicken breasts, they're huge. They're getting altered, right? So it becomes a problem. That's why detoxing, which we're going to talk about, is so important. Those, estrogens build up in our fat cells, and they don't leave unless you make them leave. So has anyone here heard cancer all-time high?
Yes.
That's one of the reasons that actually infertility, I dealt with infertility. So infertility rates are all-time high. All these toxins accumulate, especially men. Testosterone levels are they plummet, and their sperm counts go down. Yeah, it's awful. So, and emotional stress. I cannot change the way your spouse, significant other, mom, sister acts, of course, but we can, change the way our bodies process that stress.
Yeah.
Anyone watch the news or on social media all day? You can be honest. Okay, thank you, Amia.
Yeah.
Thank you for your honesty. I appreciate it. So there's things we can do, but also sometimes when our toxins get really high, we are a little more reactive, or our hormones are out of balance. So this is why detoxing, and why even detoxing off social media for a bit too. So,
Absolutely.
yes. There's different types of hormones. There are fat burning and fat storing. Fat burning are the growth hormone, insulin-like growth factor, glucagon, thyroid hormones, and testosterone. It's really important to know the functional ranges for that. And fat storing, insulin, estrogen, cortisol. So I've had people say, well, I don't want any of the fat storing, I only want fat burning. I'm like, no. You need insulin, otherwise you're type 1 diabetic, you don't want that. You need estrogen, otherwise you're full-blown menopause. And people don't realize when you're in menopause, when your estrogen's down, that's when the visceral fats happens. All these different things happen, it's a big problem. Cortisol, your stress hormone, we need that in balance too. So what happens, people that are chronic, especially this time of year, let's just be honest, chronically stressed, especially right now, stress, what happens, we're supposed to have a higher amount of cortisol in the morning, and then throughout the day it goes down low, so you're able to sleep. When you're chronically stressed with time, you'll wake up exhausted because your cortisol is so low, and throughout the day it goes high, then you're tired, wired, and you can't sleep at night. That is called adrenal fatigue, and believe it or not, that can be turned around. So it's very, very important to make sure that you understand the right ranges, not you, but we need to understand that, and that those get optimized. I'm gonna give you an example of a traditional American breakfast of cereal and milk, coffee, and orange juice. Which one of those will increase your insulin?
Orange juice.
Oh, yeah.
And what else? Yes. I guess it depends what you put in your coffee too, right?
Mhm.
But a lot of times people don't just put like wonderful organic things in there, right? Which will increase your estrogen?
What'd you say, coffee?
Coffee, cereal, sorry, milk. Yeah, exactly. And then which one will increase your stress hormone?
The caffeine and the coffee?
Yeah. So a lot of times, this is where, not everyone, but a lot of people will consume that in the morning. We're setting up, the day that way. So just know, if you're doing that, no big deal. There's a way to turn that around. A lot of times, that's what happens every single morning.
Yeah, people just like, I can't start my day without coffee.
Right.
That was me.
And yeah, and you know what?
That was me.
And that's fine. And I'm not saying don't drink coffee, but talking about the detox phase, there might be a time where you're eliminating it just to kind of see how you feel. Because if you're using it the entire day because you can't function, that's another issue. I'm not against it. It's got some good properties. So which one do you have? Stress, adrenal issues, anemia, liver congestion, hormone issues, gut infections, vitamin D low, blood sugar all over the place, chronic inflammation, infections, insulin resistance, issues with heavy metals, toxicity, food allergies, gluten sensitivity, celiac disease, or virus. A lot of words. So, when you go to your traditional practitioner, the first thought is, what medical condition do they have? What's the second? So when you go to the doctor, they're like, okay, I'm gonna diagnose you with this, and then what do they do?
What medication?
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
What drugs? Pharmaceutical companies spend billions a year to make you think that way. And I was thinking about like 20 years ago when I was a new nurse practitioner, I was taught by so many different pharmaceutical companies how to test, for example, Synthroid company, it's a thyroid company. They taught me like, you're gonna test this way so you can treat with my medication. And back then I didn't know any better, now I do obviously. I'm like, that is messed up, it wasn't even right. It was awful, it's like, you can't do that. You gotta do what's best for the patient, not what you're telling me to do.
It goes back to their practicing, doctors are practicing on us.
That's like, yeah, you're right. We're talking about infuriating. This is the worst slide I have, and it like crawls under my skin. This comes from the Medicare Journal. All the different insurance companies look towards Medicare for their policies and procedures. So they say care that seeks to prevent disease, promote health, and prolong and enhance the quality of life is not considered medically necessary and therefore not payable.
Isn't that the whole point of medical care?
Yeah.
To prevent.
Mhm. I'm gonna repeat that again because it's disgusting. Care that seeks to prevent disease, promote health, and prolong and enhance the quality of life is not considered medically necessary and therefore not payable. So do you feel your insurance company is gonna take care of you?
No,
No.
absolutely.
No, absolutely not. It's awful. So by show of hands, who wants to be stuck in this broken healthcare system? So by another show of hands, who wants to be accountable and take action with their health because insurance companies won't be doing that? Thank you. This is wrong. It's wrong. So the sick care model, prescription drugs, can you guys still hear me? I've been told I'm loud. My kids say that anyways. Prescription drugs, Americans spent $535 billion in 2018, a 50% increase since 2010. So that magic insurance card does not pay for everything, right? That's a problem. This money keeps going up, but people are not getting better.
And they're not getting more money to seek out the care they need to get better.
Right, absolutely. So those of you who are here watching that's the real, yes. So Ron came in with Marge and he was really just there just to support her. And then he was like, okay, since she's gonna start, I think I should too because we are doing, we live together. But he was there because her hormonal issues, right? Like he just wanted her to be fixed. So what he didn't realize was that he was part of the problem, but also that he could be in a better place with his health. They would go hiking all the time and they both kind of said, like, I felt there was like a boulder on my chest. I'm trying to go up and it's just really, really difficult. And also their daughter was also suffering too. Like, we want to get better since we want to be an example for her. But Ron, he joined the program to support his wife. He felt he only had a few issues, right? He lost actually over 32 pounds. His cholesterol was pretty elevated, and he shared on that reel his exact numbers. He's like numbers person. He was just really, really amazed by that. But he was just like, I really, really want to be there for her, but wow, I did not know this was going to help me so much. In March, she lost 24 pounds. She was dealing with severe joint pain. It was really hard for her to go hiking with that too. Her pain is literally almost gone. Her IBS symptoms are gone, and she can finally sleep. She got her hormones optimized. She's like, oh my God, I didn't even know I could sleep. They both wish they would have found the program sooner. It's the best investment they ever made. They graduated, and actually their daughter has joined the program, and she's gonna graduate actually next week. So it's really cool that they're gonna do this together. And it's like they encourage each other, push each other to be the best version of themselves. So that is amazing. I'm really, really proud of them, truly. So as we go through the next set of slides, I really want you to start thinking, are you willing to do something different? Because yes, this is about you, but who else in your life depends on you? What happens if we don't take care of ourselves?
We can't be around our loved ones.
That's true. And what happens if our health declines? What happens then? Correct. Yes. Which I'll share this in a minute, my greatest fear is being a burden on my family. Like that is truly my greatest fear. I'm gonna talk about what my why is, and I want you to start thinking about what your why is and like why this will be important for you to get optimized your health. And my why is actually, those are my children. So this is Braden, he is 8, Grayson is 5, and I fought for those kids. I was told I could never have kids. I love them to pieces, and I know I shared, I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, it's a connective tissue disease. They have a 50% chance of having it, and my oldest is starting symptoms right now, and it breaks my heart. Most people in my condition are in wheelchairs. I know if I don't keep going, that will happen, and I know for a fact my kids are watching, and that might be something like, okay, mommy's in the wheelchair, I'm gonna be there too. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna be damned if that happens. I always want to be the best example for them because I love them to pieces, and I want them to always know, like, if mommy can do it, you can do it too. Like, it's so important to me. So, and my why is also expanded because yes, I want to teach generational health, of course, but I have seen so many families transform in this process. I want to help as many people who want to get helped so they also can teach generational health. Like, that has become a huge why to me too. So I want you to start thinking about what your why is, and I know I shared this too. 3 days ago when I was at Sky Ranch, when I was able to do all the things I was never able to do, like, I should have put that on there, but just like trampoline, all these different things, like I never thought I could do that. And it was just such an amazing feeling to be there with them and doing that, which most people aren't able to do in my condition. So it's just amazing. This is why I do this. Your why will break you through the terror barrier. We all have fears. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of trying one more thing that may not work again, right? And I get that, I've been there. But your why will break you through the terror barrier. So anytime you're struggling, looking at that, and looking where you want to go versus being stuck into like what ifs, that's why it's so important. So now we're gonna go through the 5 pillars of health. I'm gonna discuss what those are, which is nutrition, hormones, fitness, detox, and mentoring. So I'll start with detox. So just whatever you have thought or heard of detox, take it away from your brain. It's not that. You're not gonna be running to the toilet or weird cleanses or weird things. Do a lot of you know that 80% of your immune system is in your gut? That's amazing. The gut and liver are responsible for proper use of hormones. So a lot of times with all those toxins, we make neurotransmitters in our gut just like we do in our brain. So if we have a lot of toxins, we're not as happy, and it's because we're not making those neurotransmitters like we're supposed to. So like I said, liver and gut, we need to have that for the proper use of hormones. It helps clean out the liver, the kidneys, the gut, and the skin. It is so cool because people going through it, their skin starts changing. They look younger, and I'm not kidding. The skin clears up. Their inflammation goes down. I had someone recently, she could barely walk into my office. Her husband had to hold her arm the entire time. I thought she was gonna fall over. She came in that last appointment walking perfectly fine after the detox. I'm not making this up. Like, it was like big eyeballs. Amazing. Yeah, the visceral fat starts going down. Just like, oh my gosh, that bloating sensation. I wake up in the morning, all those awful feelings. Hormones start getting regulated. We make more hormones in our gut than any part of our body. People don't realize that. So it's a really cool process. I promise you, it's not that. You're always eating real food. It's gentle supplementation, supporting your own body's natural detoxification processes. It's not that, I promise. In nutrition, the purpose of food, that which is eaten to sustain life, provide energy, and promote growth and repair of tissues. We always begin with nutrition and we build our way up to a detox, and literally it's like doing a food sensitivity test on yourself. Has anyone ever done that before? Some blood work and checking? You said?
I did with my doctor.
Yeah.
I was curious.
Well, a lot of times if your gut is leaky, which a lot of times it is, When you check those labs, the results are all over the place, and you check it again, it's all weird and it's all over the place. You're like, what is it? You have to actually get your gut healed in order to do the test where it's correct. So what you need to do is like going through this process. It's like slow, sustainable changes. You're crowding out the bad foods, incorporating the healthy foods, and then when you cleanse, you restart another food. Your body will tell you whether it's working or not. I never knew peanuts and peppers were my largest issue until I did this. I had been tested for years and it never showed up. But all the other foods I thought I was sensitive to, I wasn't. So it's like you find what works for your body and you feel really good in the process. So fitness, those of you who pretty much everyone said tired, exhausted, this from someone to say, hey, go exercise. Go do that right now. Go spend an hour at the gym. Does that make sense? When I told you I was so tired, I was falling asleep at work, they would say that like, okay, that makes no sense. Just know wherever you're at, we work on that. A lot of times working on the energy first, you're able to exercise, works the best versus like, go exercise. And it doesn't mean you have to go to the gym. It's we figure out what you enjoy. There's things you can do at home. We kind of build upon that. So does anyone get outside enough? We got one. You do too, that's wonderful. We do want to incorporate everyone getting outside because we all know the benefits. We just sometimes we don't do it. And lots of times we get really busy with work and all that stuff. It's not have to be that. I promise you. And we do what, I'm sorry?
I wish.
That would happen to me if I did that. Yeah, no, it does not have to be that. But we figure out what things you enjoy and go from there. It can be in a group, it can be by yourself. We figure out what that would look like for you. So hormones, we figure like these are different body types based on the hormonal issue. Everyone's different, obviously. But the estrogen body type, adrenal, which you get more of the central obesity, thyroid, more a universal weight gain everywhere. And then the liver, belly in men, alcohol, or we talked about all those toxins, plummets their testosterone, plummets their estradiol, and they start developing belly fat. That's why if you all look around and then, all the men out there, they're growing more belly fat than probably you've ever seen in the past. There's a reason for that. Yes.
So is that safe to say they need to cut down on the alcohol?
Well, that too, yes. But they probably,
some type of liver issue.
they could be, yes. But even like with all those, they probably need to do detox, check their hormones and all that too, yes. You're probably thinking of someone,
Yeah.
yeah, your mind's like churning.
Prepare your speech.
I learned this tonight.
Right.
That's why it's so important to, when you do labs, to know the optimal ranges, because like Quest, CPL, LabCorp, they're just pretty much take the national average for your age category group, and there's your reference range. I'm being serious. Oh yes. Because then, if, like for example, I think they say 60 to 100 is normal fasting blood sugar. 100, if you're 99, you're fine.
No.
But if most
No.
of the world is, or most of the country is not healthy, like, but that's
Right,
one
that's what
part.
you're comparing
There you-
yourself to that benchmark.
Thank you, and that's an issue. They take out because most people that do their labs are not healthy, but here they're in the reference range. Yeah, it's a problem. That's why functional ranges are vital to get to optimal health, not the national average for sick people.
Right.
Like yes, you kind of know what those are because so many times when people say the practitioner says, "Oh, your labs are normal."
It's infuriating.
Oh, I know. Yes, you've experienced that. It's wrong, and they just don't know.
Yeah, they should not trust,
Mhm.
physicians.
Yep, because they're so stuck in the system, like this is what it is, it's the Bible to them. Yeah, and it's wrong. Mentoring is my favorite, and I've had someone recently say, those are our mentors, like no, these are my mentors, those are Luis's and Randa, the office manager. So no, I'd like to share this because we are led by example. We always live by example. We would never ask you something we don't personally do ourselves. We always want to be held accountable, and we are here for you guys as mentors too. We help you determine the underlying cause versus putting band-aids over symptoms, create a unique plan for you, educating and empowering you, guiding you through your journey so you're not alone doing this. We hold your hand essentially, hold you accountable, encourage you, and celebrate you as you make your successes. We want you to succeed. We want to be there for you. A lot of times I think programs fail because there's not that kind of mentorship to help you. And I've been there myself. So you met me, Lamise, and Rand's our office manager. We want to help you.
I know her.
You do?
She's work at Sally.
She what?
Did she work at Sally or Dr. Pepper?
remember.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, she was here earlier today, so how funny. I will tell her that you know her. That's so great.
That's funny.
So I want to help anyone who's ready and willing. It's okay to be nervous, completely fine. And just know, like, you don't have to be in this devastating, awful health predicament to get help. We have people that, you know, young and relatively healthy, they wanted to run a marathon, and they did. So just know, it could be any walks of life. You could be here just to optimize your health. Everyone's here is different. We want to help anyone who's ready. So really find a mentor who's also mentored. It's very important. So we offer a customized, all-inclusive programs. Everybody's program is completely individualized and different. So, you know, what one person needs, someone might need something completely different. So with the nutrition, fitness, detox, hormones, and mentoring, which one do you think you can remove and get the same results? You can't, that's right. What'd you say?
I just said neither one.
That's true. So, yeah, it's exactly right. Because a lot of times, you know, people try this and this one and this one, but does it work long term, or does it give the results you want always? Right. That's why it's so important to incorporate them all. And just so you know, I actually I started my practice over 11 years ago with the sole intention for hormones. I would get people in a really good place, and I've had so much education and countless. But I get people at a certain place. If they weren't detoxed, if their nutrition was not great, if they weren't exercising and taking care of their health, they would just get to this place and not go past. That's where I know God allowed me to get to this process, get full healing. So I got great results after that. So I'm like, okay. So that's why, because I've had people say, like, I only want hormones. I'm like, I'm sure you do, but there's other things to get you. That's why you only can get here. We got to get you here. So I really want to get anyone who's off a sinking ship, if that's where anyone is, and get you here. We have people say, I just want to be able to be intimate with my partner again. Or like, I want to take trips with them. Or I want to spend quality time with my family and I feel like crap, but I just have no energy. Some people say, I want to walk up the stairs without feeling so out of breath I can barely breathe. Or like, I'm going to do a load of laundry and just be done and feel good doing it. I always want to have the energy to play with my boys who are very, very active. I always want that. So like it's destination focused and seeing where you want to be and what that looks like for you, and just to keep going there. So we want to figure out what that is. If you want to be on a boat in Fiji, great. Yeah, there's you. Okay. It's like really whatever is important to you. We figure that out. And really want to turn a crisis, if that's where you're at, into an opportunity to help you. I love this Chinese proverb, tell me and I may remember, show me and I will remember, involve me and I will understand. You will be involved in the process. This is set up so where you go through the process, you learn it for life and you can repeat it. So it's not like something like, and I'm not against Weight Watchers, but it's something you have to keep going back to in order to keep that. This is something to learn for life and to keep it. So yes, you will be involved in the process. This is not a prescription, I'm sorry, semaglutide. I think it's great. But where you take it and you're gonna be off in the wilderness and feeling great. You're gonna be involved, healing from the inside out. And we're here to help you every step of the way. So wake up and stop procrastinating. So yes, it's warm and cozy, and a lot of times it's great to be on the couch drinking beer. But cats have 9 lives, we have 1. Right. My mentor, and he's no longer here with us, but he used to always say to me, if not now, when? And it used to irk me, but he was always right. What does procrastination do? Right. The longer it takes you to something you know you should do now, the less likely it happen. And that's actually a true fact. It's true.
It's later than you think.
Right. I've had people say, well, tomorrow. Anyone hear that? Tomorrow, I'll do it later. And then does it ever happen? And then you're at the place with the old man in the bed in the hospital. And like never thinking, like, how did I get here? If you know you're at a place to do something different, it's okay not to know exactly what's gonna happen. It's time to act. I love Sarah. Sarah was so sweet. She came to my office bawling, just sobbing. She was in a really bad place. She kept gaining. And it was, yes, that bothered her. But what really bothered her was she was having suicidal ideation. The relationship with her daughter was like really in a bad place there. She's like, okay, do you feel like, I'm just gonna ask, do you think I can do this? And I said, absolutely. And she's like, I'm gonna trust, I'm afraid, I'm terrified, but I will trust you. So she's made the slide. Her weight was out of control, no energy, severely depressed, zero sex drive, short fuse, brain fog. She wanted to share, her weight is actually completely gone. She's actually the one right here that she's been taking pictures of herself on the beach. Her energy's back, she's got so much energy. Her sex drive is so much better, she can remember things. Mental clarity. Her experience, her program was really easy to follow, step-by-step coaching, personal touch. She was really afraid, like, I'm gonna be hungry and I'm not gonna have food. But she never was hungry the entire time. No guessing, if you follow your program, it works, worth the investment, and she wishes she would have found the program sooner. Her like main goal was like, I wanna go see my family out of the country, and she's like, I can't have my family see me like this. And the weight was one thing, but just the depression. She's actually gone back, I think 3 times now to go see her family. She has the energy to do it, and she doesn't have that suicidal ideation anymore. And she's getting married now in May, the recent engagement. So I'm very, very happy for her. And her daughter has her mom back. So that's the most important thing. So I'm so happy for her. So this is your chance to do something different and change versus leave your life to chance. My clicker is slow today, I apologize. So what's the catch? You have to do the work. There are no shortcuts. Right. The dog's getting walked, but is a person getting exercise in the car? That would look really weird seeing that out the window, right? Yes, there's no shortcuts. We're here to help you every step of the way, but we cannot do it for you. We're here to support you every step of the way, but you have to actually do it as well. So I'm gonna try to stand up. So what is next? I'm really excited to share. Stand up. Yep, I can. So I hope I fulfilled my promise to give you as much information as I could this last hour. But the next step, my hope for you is that you take me up on a complete wellness evaluation and take action on your health. We talked about it's really important to have information, but taking action is the most important. So what a complete wellness evaluation is, it's a consultation with me where I do a wellness evaluation and develop a plan of action for you to go forward with. So first of all, you will have paperwork to fill out, and there's questions on there you probably have never been asked, but it should have been a long time ago. What are you afraid might develop if things don't change? What does life look like right now? What's really been hard in your life? And like, just really get into like the depths of that, like what's really been a problem and how's it affecting you and your family? And on the flip side, where do you want to be in your health? How do you want to feel? What do you want to do? If you're optimized from the inside out, what does life look like? And of course, questions like how you're feeling, symptoms, family history, medical history, things like that too. I've done it a couple times, about 20 minutes or so. So question, when you go to a traditional practitioner, I'm trying to smile, how long are you face to face with someone that uses insurance? Like how long are you face to face?
Not very long.
It was up to 20 minutes.
15? That's better than average actually.
20, 30.
That's great, that's great. What is yours?
I would say like 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah. National average is 7 minutes. I saw my POTS cardiologist. There's not a lot in the United States that treats my condition, but I waited the last time. I won't go back. 3 hours. I saw him for 5 minutes.
You waited
3 hours. Yep, and that's not the first
And
time.
how long did it take you to get that appointment? Probably a month.
Mhm.
Wow.
Like this is a perfect example. You know what I've been talking about. Yes. And how long in the waiting room?
15, 20.
Well, that's not bad. 15, 20. What about you?
Hours.
Oh, okay. An hour. What about you?
I would say no more than 30 minutes.
Yeah. Same for you guys.
I love doctors because of that weight. The one I'm with now is more reasonable, like 15, 20, but I don't feel like I don't think that she knows enough, but you had said like she's so wrapped up in like
Right.
the speak, and I'm like, but
I know.
You're not really knowing this.
yeah.
They just don't have the time, and it's just like they're stuck in that system.
And
Yeah.
she also doesn't appear healthy, so I'm like, it's not really. It's just
That is right.
Yes, it's hard to do that when you don't see that in them. Yes. National average is face to face 7 minutes, in the waiting room anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. Mine was 3 hours. The consultation with me is an hour, a full hour. You will not be waiting in the waiting room. If anything, maybe 5 minutes tops. I've only had that happen maybe a couple times. So when you go to a traditional practitioner, what are you charged? I'm not asking about copay.
the labs.
But like, what is like under EOB? Do you guys know what that amount is
Oh,
on average?
The benefits.
Yeah, 200, 250, 350, about that, just depending.
What plan you have.
Yeah, I'm sorry?
Just depending what plan you have.
Exactly right. So if you think about it, you are there face to face for a very short period of time, waiting room for who knows how long, and then you're charged that.
Yeah.
It's like you don't even think about it because you're just paying a copay, right?
I stayed, it was like $360.
That could be,
And it was just to visit.
right, it's like, why, what was that?
Now
No,
you have to determine what kind of test you can get based on the cost.
right,
And then you have to prove to them, because this was a whole conversation at my physical, and she's like, I'm not gonna test your estrogen because the levels are fine. And I was like, but the functional wellness stuff, like, it was a whole thing. She was, well, why do I need, what's the code? I'm like, I don't know the code.
that's not your job. That's not your job.
I'm concerned. She's like, well, I need a reason to put in here. It was
Right.
a horrible experience.
It's a horrible experience. I'm sorry to go through that. It does not have to be that way. So traditionally for that hour appointment, we do charge $287, but because you guys are here tonight, you've been pre-educated, we do take $200 off, so it's just $87. So why do you guys feel $87 is important to charge? It honestly does not cover my time, but why do you think it's important?
You're gonna get a lot out of it.
For all the nutrition, mentoring and.
For the complete wellness evaluation.
The evaluation.
Just, yes.
Know where you're starting, know your baseline.
You're
Right.
gonna be able to figure out where to go from there.
Well, yeah, it's actually, yes, absolutely. The 87 is pretty much, I always say, like skin in the game. It allows me to know you're gonna be there for your appointment, you're gonna take that investment tonight, schedule your appointment. And it's just skin in the game, so there's, like, an exchange of value for that. So, the very important thing is if you want your spouse or significant other to also be evaluated at that same time, or family member, it's just an additional $47. We'll add some more time on to be 90 minutes. They'll have their own paperwork, but this is really important. If you feel your spouse or significant other doesn't want to be evaluated or not a good fit, we will still have them come to your evaluation. Why is that important?
So they know how you're being treated, like what the process is and stuff. So they
Right.
support you.
Absolutely, yes, it's a fair thing for them because they're gonna make some changes in their life. I also like to see the support, not there or there. And also, there's a time commitment, there's a financial investment, make sure we're all on the same page and that there's trust there. So it's the only time they need to be here. The rest of the time they don't have to, but just that one initial appointment, it's important for them to be there. So important things to note, fill out your paperwork completely, so we don't wanna take that time for you filling it out. So make sure, otherwise we'll have to reschedule you, I don't wanna do that. Especially this time of the year, it is very busy, we wanna make sure everyone is seen, and that we're not taking so much time when you could fill your paperwork out. Appointments we schedule over the next 2 weeks. I do this talk frequently, so the next 2 weeks we do have times available. If you're gonna be out of town, just let us know, we'll probably get everyone else scheduled and get you scheduled after that. Show up on time. I'm very respectful of everyone's time. I make sure to respect everyone's time. I think it's amazing, by the way, you guys are here during the Christmas time, so you should congratulate yourselves. This is the hardest time for most people to come, and you guys made it, so I want to just acknowledge that. Spouse or significant other must come with you, only time they need to be there. We have people say, well, my spouse is so busy. I hear that quite often. My response is always the same. Everyone's busy, this is busy for everyone. This is your life and your health, so there's nothing more important. And I usually say if they have a job, or a boss, tell them, my spouse has a doctor's appointment, it's really important I'm there. I just say that, where it's very easy and simple. The only exception, if you're actively right now getting a divorce, or they're in the hospital or something, just let me know. Or active military overseas, obviously not a great fit. We'll talk about that. Limited appointments. We only take so many practice members a month. We want to help anyone who's ready. So if you are at the place, let's get you signed up. So it really is all about you, and also people that look up to you, that people that rely on you. I don't want anyone to get here where you're at the end of your life, you wish to God you did something different because you didn't take care of your health. I don't want anyone to do that or be there. And it's your chance to do something different and change, like I said before, versus leaving your health at a chance. So Lamisa's gonna come out in a minute to get you signed up. I wanna answer some frequently asked questions. The first one I usually get is, can we help everybody? What do you guys think?
I think yes. My guess.
Mia, why is that?
Well, the person has to want to do the things that need to be done.
You said that perfectly, yes. We cannot force, no. You have to be in a place ready and willing to something different. Being nervous, perfectly fine, but yes, you're exactly correct. And so any kind of walks of life, even in a really dire situation, there's something we can usually do. If not, we're very transparent, we'll let you know that, but I still want anyone to come who's ready and willing. The second question I get is, does insurance pay for this?
Yes.
I don't think so because it's we're going through.
No, does insurance pay for preventive medicine?
No.
No.
But you can use your HSA or FSA.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes, that's true. Yes, you can. Yes. But no, it's very, very unfortunate. I wish insurance covered things like this, but insurance will not pay for anything that makes you well because they lose money. It's true. It's completely. I don't think you were here when we went over that part, so you're good. You're good. The next logical question is it affordable? Absolutely. We have all walks of life. We got single moms, single dads, retirees, a lot of retired military actually. We have people on very fixed incomes. We have different payment plans. We've got financing. So at that point, it's just making a choice, and also we can make it work. So if there's something you know you need to do, it's time to do it. We make it work. Also, please don't ask me or Lamise what your program's gonna look like. I don't know. That's what the appointment's for, and that's why it's discounted to make it as easy as possible. We're gonna go through all that. All the questions will be answered. And we're really gonna see if we're a good fit to work together. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's just kind of question when you're done.
Oh, sure, yes. And the last question I get is, can we do this virtually? Absolutely. Yeah. Do you live far away?
Well, I'm going out of town, but I'll go ahead.
Oh yeah, we can, yes. I do recommend that first appointment be done in person. It works a lot better. And then the rest of them can definitely be, virtual. We've got people that live in New York, Mexico, Missouri, all those different places. So they usually come in for that first appointment and then the rest are virtual, and that's great. If not, just let me know, we'll figure that out. So Lamia's going out and go and get those passed out and fill those out, and she's gonna get you scheduled. I'm gonna put this on the board here, right there.
So how, so in the evaluation, do you do blood work or?
Well, the evaluation is really to see if we're a good fit to work together. So we're gonna go through all your paperwork and we're gonna build a plan for you, and that's the next step.
Okay.
So outside of the program, do you also function as like general medicine, like could I swap my PCP and use you?
Well, if you have like a cold or something like that, I don't do primary care. But most of the time, the goal is, so you don't have to use your PCP. Because that's the goal.
So if we need, so I'm thinking about like my annual physical. So if there was something that I were getting you on, and then I wanted to like test my lab, like see what the improvement was in my lab results next year, how would that look? Because that was the issue that I had. I went to a functional wellness doctor. She identified some things, but my PCP doesn't run the same test.
No, they're
and
not
didn't
going to.
identify those things.
They're not going
So
to.
now there's a gap, so I was trying to figure out what's the right solution for that from these.
I'll tell you, their PCPs won't be doing this.
Right.
They won't. This is all functional.
So after the program, then like that ends the relationship.
Not necessarily. We'll go through that.
Oh.
But no, the goal is not for you to get this great place and then bye, and then you fall back off. That's not the goal.
Gotcha.
Yes. So no, we're not gonna. I would never do this to somebody.
Okay.
I'll come over so you don't have to yell.
Sorry.
And go ahead and get the second. Yes, ma'am.
For your first consultation, do you do weekends or just weekdays?
So, Louise has the options here. I do weekdays. I've got kids, so I have to
Okay,
do it.
okay. What's the, I guess you'll know what days you're open.
Yes. I do have appointments actually for Thursday and Friday this week, and then also next week.
Oh, so you don't probably have anything for December 19th.
I think 19th?
And the 20th, I think it's like a Friday.
I've got one.
Friday.
I got one. I didn't get to get to the point. I was going to tell you guys, thank you so much for. Thank you. Thank you. I was ready to say that.
I'm sorry I'm getting late.
You guys are so great.
At the beginning, this is, what is it?
For.
Mia, I don't use this.
Sign up for.
You don't?
Oh.
No, yeah, I need you to tell me
For-
your spectrum, because,
Yes, for
your world is just like, what you do, and then you get it.
Oh, I know.
This one just is a
PCP.
an
But
appointment.
I'm so
It takes
okay
another
with not
hour
doing
So should we
conventional.
go over the whole
Yeah.
2000?
It's a weird like switching your brain. It's like, okay, I'm gonna be taking care of myself, so I actually don't need one. And there's like a bunch of still do your house where I'm having those things to do.
Yeah, but
Right.
since you like.
Yeah. But
Yes.
the goal is to
Okay,
obviously you don't
days, you can
need to do
sign
that.
up.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know it's a very cost.
Yes.
What is that?
Yes.
$47.
So like, if there's someone that you live with, like, so that would be like, the family would be someone that actually lives with you, a different household. For the same, sorry, the same household. So if it's separate, then it's separate.
47.